Oh my. Holy, oh my. Yeah, I have no idea if this is going to work. YouTube is saying the connection is poor. Like we are all about to be. Poor connection. If it's buffering or lagging or whatever drops, let me know. I feel like we should just restart the stream, but I guess we'll push our luck, right? I really don't want to post the link everywhere again. That's what it's all about. Stream is good. YouTube's lying, dude. They're always lying. The reason it's saying that though is because I'm sending it like multiple feeds because it's just hasn't been working. So I'm sending it like every single possible. I'm sending it mail to all of its mailing addresses and it's confusing it. Hopefully we stay up. Very noise is noisy. What is that? Voice is noisy? What? Is everything good? Does it sound weird? Does it anything? Let me know. I'm keeping my eyes on the chat, making sure. We have gone live. Emergency spice style. Spicy, emergency spice style. Confuse that algorithm. Start up a bunch of streams. That's right. We've gone live emergency spice style. We haven't done this in a bit. Bitcoin, what is wrong with you? Bitcoin is what is wrong, buddy? This is awful. Bitcoin breaking down lower. 98.9 broken here today on another really ugly daily candle. We got the tall top wick. Started off with a little bit of hope, sold off. Actually, if you were in the Crown Crypto group, join crowncrypto.com, check it out. I said earlier, timed it pretty well, I guess. It's aged well. I closed all my positions. I don't know. I closed them all, and I hope that summons the bottom. I may look to reopen. Did this a little bit earlier, slightly higher, slightly higher price. I may look to reopen on the signal we are waiting for. We have been waiting for. Let me get rid of this for now. Less distractions today. That'd be why. That'd be why. All right. Then Mike was noisy because for some reason that program turned off. My NVIDIA broadcast is back on. It should be crisp and smooth again. Echo? Let's make sure there's no other echo. Echo is because you had the stream on Twitch. Nice. Or on X. Feel free to watch on all the platforms at once. You should probably mute all of them but one. Yeah. Keep YouTube up. Death Cross, baby. The Death Cross. We've been talking about it all day, every day. It's all we hear about. It's all we talk about. The Death Cross. It is looking as if Bitcoin is again going to put in a low at the Death Cross on the daily. I would say it feels too easy, right? It's like too easy. It can't possibly be that. But I think it might be. I'll tell you why. Everyone is really scared. That's not a surprise, I know. People have been freaked out for, honestly, since October 9th, October 10th. Since all-time high, smashed down, people have been freaked out. We have not seen Bitcoin show, honestly, any signs of it having any kind of strength or energy at all since then. And sentiment has remained in the shitter. I'll be real. Sentiment has been down. Obviously. It doesn't matter where you look. People are very bearish. They're expecting lower lows, and I'll give it to them. Give yourselves a pat on the back. You got a lower low. Boom. Right here today. It could continue. Bottom could be in. We may see it continue until the death cross happens. We've been talking about that. But this is a decent measure of how people are feeling right now. Fear and greed at 15. We were looking for this back here on November 4th. Remember, I was like, guys, if we get the update to fear and greed and it's down in like single digits or even low double digits, bottom's probably in. Do you guys remember that update? Do you remember what fear and greed number it adjusted to? 25, which is still pretty fearish. What's up, Tox Bump 999 over on Twitch? What's up, brother? We got viewers over on Twitch. I should pull up the Twitch chat. Just ask people to watch over there. It updated to 25, which is still a fear reading, but nowhere near what we were experiencing. 15, extreme fear. While this measurement, fear and greed index in general is kind of bogus. In general, it's kind of bogus. It does have some correlation. Typically, when we see extreme readings, really low fear readings, bottoms are in or close, and when we see extremely high greedy ratings, tops are in or close. Looking at the overall fear and greed index for the last many years, very infrequently does it adjust down this low. Very rarely in this space do we see this kind of sentiment, this kind of extremely negative, extremely pessimistic, down, scared, spooky sentiment. In fact, the last time that it was this low was in February of this year. Pretty much for the entirety of this year, we've remained somewhere between neutral and greed, positive and neutral. This sell-off just yesterday, putting us down in what is not record-breaking, but only a handful of times have we seen deeper readings in this territory. What's really spicy is the fear and greed index only updates one time a day. It's going to update again in 3 hours and 11 minutes. So what this means, this extreme reading, what this really means is yesterday, just about 19 hours ago, fear and greed was at 15. That rating, the extreme fear reading, is actually reflecting yesterday's close. It doesn't involve any of today's candle. It doesn't involve a rejection from a swing high today. It doesn't involve a breaking of November's low, a new quarterly low. I think we're going to get a very, very interesting adjustment there today. Absolutely. We may see single digits. We may see records. We may see record-breaking fear at 98. I mean, it could go lower, but like in the near the $100,000 mark by the end of today. Basically, what we're looking for the ultimate low reading would be in 3 hours and 11 minutes. And you'll notice, coincidentally, I can't scroll over, coincidentally, right when the daily candle closes. The lower that reading into the daily close, especially comparative to how low it traded today. So let's see, 97.9, 98K flat. The closer we are to the low of the day on that daily turnover, the lower that reading is going to be. In my opinion, the lower that goes, the better off we are, in the sense of the closer or more probable it is to see a bounce. What's really interesting is yesterday, we don't usually go live today. Shout out to everyone tuning in today for the emergency spice stream. We're not usually live Tuesday, so I do appreciate you. We were talking yesterday about a lot of confluence, a lot of things lining up here with this death cross again. And it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. I didn't expect to see a lower low today. But it is really looking like we are about to see a repeat of what we have seen this entire bull run. I will go on. I will give you more details. I will explain. But before I get into that, I want everyone here in the chat to say hello, to say something. I want you to engage with the live chat, the live stream. Put a message, like, subscribe, share, vote in the poll. I don't know. Tap the screen, follow along whatever platform you're on. I want you to give a little love here. Let's get in the algorithm. The more you engage with the live stream, the more the algorithm pushes it out to new people, and that's how we're going to get some new viewers today. Let's get them in here, because today is a day where people are going to go looking for answers. They're going to be afraid. They're going to be in fear, and they're going to end up finding content that is going to hurt them. Content that's going to confirm their bias, content that's going to make them act irrationally and in the moment. And the best thing is for them to find this channel, to find us, to find this community. We're going to help them make through. We're going to help them weather through it. We're not going to shield them anything. We're not going to try to profit off of their misery. We're just going to try to get them into our community so they can become a long-term successful investor and trader in crypto. Tom Crown for Fed Chair. Tom Crown for Fed Chair. Let's go. We are calm and honest. That's what we do. I'm not always going to be right. In fact, at times I'm overly bullish. But we're not going to shill you. I'm not going to accept hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to get you to buy scams so that you get wrecked and I make money. That's not what we do. I live a humble life, and a life that is dedicated to helping people in this space, not necessarily profiting. Back to McDonald's. That's it, brother. That's it. Who do we got here today? The main stream is over on youtube.com/TomCrown, by the way. And let me pull it up. I can't find the chat. Where's the chat? Here we go. We've got quite a few, 600 viewers and rising. We'll break some numbers today. What's up, boys? There we are. Who's here? Over on the stream, Ace of Hearts, my guy. What's up, Adam Sabir, Adventure Story Channel, Alex Heller, Angelito, Art B, OBSY. Let me see these other names. Art B, OBSY. My guy. There it is. Ayasugi, Big G2G, Kalizo, Christopher, also different Christopher, Coding Crypto, Cody Deluxe the Third, Creative Brilliance. What's up, bro? Crypto Knight, Crypto Pat, D'Lo Brown, Go Flamingo Gox. What's up? Discipline Focus. I see you chiming in. Dominic Amartikova, Dylan Va, F Wassett, Eliza Sotpick, N S Bellman. Shout out to you, bro. Fran and Friends, G65. We got a lot of names here, a lot of chatters. We got a lot of people popping in here. This is the place to be right now. What's up, Hendrick? Hopium, Copium. That's what we got. Jacob, Janix, J Trading, Joe C, John Doe, Johnny Wen, Joel and Berg. You can see it updating. More people joining. Keep saying hello. I'll grab you. Don't worry, I won't forget. Make sure you're subscribing too. Make sure you're subscribing. Share out the stream. J Trading, Joe Zell, Josh Kennington, JP Frito, K Dunker, Keenan and Friends, Life with James, LK Stan, Matto, Scientisto, Y Wari, Majestic Fox. You're here. You were bearish yesterday. I remember. You're still bearish, I'm sure. Map of Success, Mariu Stamsukis, MB, McPooch, Melvin's Rule, Mike Volmer. What's up, bro? Mr. T, Mr. Ethereum, Muff Chomp, My Shika, My Stupid Name, Nasty Nate, Neek. Dude, there's so I'm only at the ends. Holy shit. And like 10 times as many people have joined already. Yeah. Accomplisher over on Twitch. What's up, brother? We're over on youtube.com/TomCrab. You can chill on Twitch if you want. Nicholas Perry, Nick Ebbs, Nicholas Arena, not quicker. What's you finally changed your name. Cheers, bro. Oren Finkel. Oath Man the Ghost, Pablo, Paz Maria. Dude, usually we don't do shout outs for this long, but there's just lots of people here. Pioneer Evolution, Prana Shurva, Press Up Challenge, Riker's Beard, Randy Crow, Randy Greer, Red Rock, Robert Thanes, Romer Simpson, Ronald Means, Rovo, Sagar Kumar Shash, Sailing Surfer, Sank Meads, SCHD. What's up, bro? Welcome back. Sino DB, Sentence for Lice, Last Gambit. Dude, are we getting like lots of viewers over on Twitch? That's fire. I'm gonna maybe pull up that Twitch live stream in just a minute. Let me finish these shout outs or we'll never get through. S Faxios, Shawnee, Screamer, Super Viral, Sumich, South Jersey, Andy, Stella Munson, Sunchips, Thanos I, the other TJ, the Poolman, Thomas Brady, Tony Punch, Torador, Tripled Ops, Two Wheeled Crypto, Voldo. We're almost done with YouTube's list. Voldo, Dayak Zuman, Waco Trading, Wisdom, Last Gambit, XRP Goat, Zacro, and of course myself down at the bottom. And everyone else, dude. I missed so many people. There's just so many people that I missed during that time. I apologize. You are all important. We're all important. You're all important to me. We're going to turn on music here in a minute too. Let me pull up this Twitch stream. What's going on over there on Twitch? I see myself. We have 2 live viewers. It's not that poppin'. What's up, Last Gambit? We've had 3 subscribers, so I assume there was more. What's up, Hardy Stonefish, Jolenberg, Rishi? Approximately 93K. We do have a poll go. We have a poll going, but let's everybody vote in this poll really quick. Let's try to get 1,000 votes. We have like 1,000 people here. Let's get 1,000 votes. What do we think? We're pretty split here. 53% saying the bull market is not over. 47% saying it is over. That is by far the most bearish poll we've had on this channel in a long time. What's up, Synonym? Dude, Twitch is popping. Twitch is popping. Let me put a message in there. Hello, Twitch. Man, I haven't sent a message on Twitch in forever. Let's finish up this poll. We're going to do another poll. Downside targets. Do you guys think we are continuing down? Do you think we have more lows to go? It's definitely on the table, but I want to talk about a few things that may impact the way you see it. We have finally swept liquidity from July's low. As bullish as I always am and I remain, Sweeping July's low liquidity is not great. I mean, it's certainly a catalyst for a bounce. Certainly a catalyst for a bounce. You're going to see stop losses hit. You're going to see shorts in. You're going to see longs closed. Longs that have been open the majority of the year. But man, that does not look good for market structure. You basically have a low, you broke an all-time high, and you just came down and revisited that low. You painted a lower low here. That is not what we wanted to see. In fact, I was really hoping we would hold 102,000 from early October. Now this lower high on the 5th of November into a lower low we talked about yesterday, this is now painting a downtrend. We have a high to a lower low, to a lower high, to a lower low, to a lower high. Now we have a lower low again. That is, on the daily, a downtrend. Not what we want to see. Not what I want to see. We have 6 viewers over on Twitch. That is by far the most viewers we've ever had on Twitch in many years. We just started streaming over there, multi-streaming over there too. But, okay, 98, whatever, 98.2. Still, liquidity has been swept from July's low. Would be logical to see a bounce, but where does it take you? The 200-day still not tested as resistance, and above us looms the death cross. This is what I was getting to in the beginning, then I would do the shout-outs. The bear is here, says 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. Change your name. Change your name, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. You're not allowed to have that name if you're bearish. I'm just playing. You guys are welcome to be bearish. You do know, though, I will remain bullish. I will remain bullish until probably 2026. Until 2026 happens. The death cross looms above us, and I feel like a broken record because we've talked about this over and over and over again. But we're going to talk about it again. We have seen a death cross every single year of this bull run. The first one in September of 23 marked the bottom virtually to the day. Actually, to the day. Let's say to the day. September 11th. Oop, too soon. 2023. First death cross of this bull run, and it marked the bottom after the cross was completed. Price never traded lower. We saw nothing but an uptrend. It was trending down, similar to how it is now, into the low. Afterwards, we saw only higher lows, into higher highs, into an uptrend, and we marched on into the ETF times. The pre-ETF. Dude, this bull run has been bullshit, dude. I guess that's why they call it a bull run. Just bullshit. All the excitement was... Where was all the excitement? I don't know. Pre-ETF came, we sold off one more time. People were expecting sub 20, 15K again, did not come. Into March, into the pre-halving of Bitcoin. We saw all-time highs for the first time ever in Bitcoin's history. But that excitement quickly waned as, well, we did the same thing that we're doing now. We painted lower highs and lower lows. And you'll never guess what happened. In August of 2024, a little bit more than a year later, after painting lower highs and lower lows, the death cross came, and what happened? We had one final low. We had been in a downtrend. We had painted the downtrend, and again, the death cross marked the bottom. Now, this one wasn't perfect. This maybe gives hope to that the low could be in today before the cross, right? This one was 4 days before the death cross, but it marked the low nonetheless. Price rocketed back up just in time. God, I want this to happen right now. Let's retest that 200. Rocketed back up to test said death cross, and basically the same thing happened. This took a little bit longer, a little bit more sideways chop, but we saw a series of highs come up, of lows come up, and just like the year before, we saw all-time highs. Well, yeah, a march towards the all-time highs, right? There it is. In April of this year, we saw another death cross on the exact same structure. We saw an all-time high. We lost it. We saw a series of lower highs and lower lows. And again, the death cross, this time, the timing within 24 hours, marked the bottom. April 6th, boom, right here. 3 times in a row, we have seen a death cross come off of a downtrend on the day, mark the bottom, and then an uptrend begin. That's not where all of the coincidences or confluence or whatever you want to call it lie. There's actually a lot more. There's a lot more similarities between all of these. The thing that stands out the most is that at each one of these lows, we saw completely negative sentiment. Let that sink in. Sentiment, some would say, is similar to now. In fact, this would be kind of cool. I should have done this before the live. I should have done the homework, but I didn't plan on streaming. I just jumped in. What is this? September of 2023. Let's take a look. September of 23. September of 23. Interesting. That actually wasn't as spooky. This was actually a reading of 30. September of 23. Then we go to August of 24. I can basically just find it by the lows here. We saw a reading under 20. It's very hard to select. There it is. I almost want to do it this way. I wonder, have you guys ever seen a way to put the Fear and Greed chart on TradingView? I actually haven't. So here was the first death cross, 23. Here was the death cross in 24. And then, wouldn't you believe it, here is the death cross that happened earlier this year in April of 25. Each time, though, I remembered this being lower, I guess because we were comparatively coming off such a time of fear and from the bear market, right? Maybe this wasn't as spooky. But each time, sentiment went to the shitter. People in September of 23 were calling for revisiting bear market lows. In August of 24, when price broke 50K, people were again basically looking for a return to the low. Maybe not down to 15, but certainly into the 30s and 20s area. Everyone, it was a unanimous thought during both of those crosses that much lower prices were coming. In April of this year, off the tariff crashy stuff, sentiment reached even lower on this scale. And people again thought price was done rallying. The sentiment is what really drives this home for me. Now, the technical signal of a death cross is lagging. It's not what people think it is. I think at best it is misunderstood. But in this run, it has marked the low each year. Now, I will concede there is one difference. We are about to get this signal. It is coming. Honestly, it's coming this week. Just like your girlfriend isn't. Burn. It's coming this week. It maybe because of this low close could actually be like tomorrow. But into this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, virtually guaranteed that we see this signal complete. The difference, the one thing that stands out to me, because price action looks similar, multiple lower lows, right? We've seen that each time, multiple lower lows coming into the death cross, the sentiment, etc., all the things. The one thing that is different would be this is the second death cross of this year. Each year we have seen exactly one. Now we have another one, and that doesn't sit with me well either. I agree. It's uncomfortable. It does have potential implications that this time isn't the exact same. I probably would lean that way because we've seen this play out so consistently. Except for, man, people are just so bearish. If people are unanimously bullish on it, then that would be bad. But it is a difference. This is going to be the second one in the year, and it's certainly going to happen now. One interesting thing. Well, no. Death cross. We have discussed into the approach here of this cross that if it comes, if we get the cross and the low doesn't paint, doesn't hold. So we see a low into this weekend, maybe death cross, maybe we rally back to the 200, but we reject and we trade lower. That is likely confirmation for some that a bear market is here. Considering it has been a bullish signal throughout this run, if we see it happen here and it doesn't play out that way, that could be confirmation for many. I didn't want to get ahead of myself. But here we are to the alpha that no one except for people on this channel know, because we've only talked about it here. I've never heard anyone else talk about it, and I haven't shared it on other platforms. Bitcoin CME. What's interesting is this death cross is likely going to come over the weekend when CME is not trading. That itself isn't super relevant, but it's just an interesting fact. But CME's crosses are relevant. Each of the times we have seen Bitcoin spot cross bearishly, CME has not. In fact, CME has gotten very close. And price, essentially afraid of the cross, began rallying. We saw that in 23. We saw that in 24, where it got very close. And even in April of 25. Now, CME is farther away. This is a pretty big gap here. Farther from crossing. And this would take, without a huge sell-off in price, would take quite some time for this cross to complete. So that itself may limit its usefulness in our analysis. But when, because it will happen eventually, but when it does happen, when CME does see its first death cross, that potentially is a very good signal that we are in a bear market. And what is interesting is that if you extend out the course that these lines are on, these averages, it brings you into the first month of next year, into January of next year, which is probably the timing where we would see a bear market begin in the 4-year cycle. It's very interesting stuff. CME is not crossed though, it's farther away. I wonder if we are going to see the cross potentially coupled with another low, though it could be here today. That low, what were we looking at? Was it like 93? 92, 93, 92 here, CME gap. 93, I think, is like the yearly open. Could we see that lower low coupled with the cross and a rally, just like we have seen every year, 2 new all-time highs, then basically when everyone is back into the it's going to keep going up forever mode, the bull market be over. Death cross comes on CME into January of next year and everyone gets caught holding the bag again. Maybe during that time, we see, shit, where did this go? Bitcoin dominance, which I have lost now. I have lost the chart. Sell off and alts see some kind of love at the end of Bitcoin cycle after it has put in its high like we saw in 2017. Total has held its low. That's weird. Total held its low while Bitcoin didn't. That means that Bitcoin dominance is falling. Bitcoin being relatively weaker versus the rest of the market here. Let's pull up dominance. Let me get to the chat too. It's the kiss of death. Call CME kiss of death. Well, it's a bullish smooching until they cross, I suppose. It has fallen from the high here, yeah. From the 4th, from the sell-off. Still holding on. I don't think this looks terribly bearish though, to be honest. Now this is bear flag, pole flag, right? It is. Maybe this is terribly bearish. I'm not sure. Likely an indicator. Likely a good thing to keep track of. Likely an indicator. I forget the correlation here. Maybe I'll have to come back to it. What was the other one? I'm gonna have to go watch our stream from yesterday. We had so many sweet, like, coincidentally timing things going on. Shit, what was the other ones? I might be drawing a blank. It's okay. It's probably good. That way I can stop just like spewing every idea I have in my brain out all at once. Here we are. 98.2. And then the yearly open 93.5. We have CME at like 92. This is where I'd be looking for a bounce for sure. Whenever price interacts with the yearly open, because eventually it will. Eventually Bitcoin will trade at 93K, whether it's now or in a year or whatever. Like it will. That's unreasonable to expect it not to. I would expect a rather sizable bounce. There's a lot of liquidity, a lot of positions, a lot of orders looking at that yearly open and saying, if this yearly turns red, or in a year, next year when we trade below it, I want to be out of this long position. I would expect a bounce. Damn, what was? I have to go look at. The other stream. I'm not gonna do it now, obviously. But yesterday I had so many cool things that lined up with this that really drove it home for me. YB Savage says, "Time to do drugs, crypto bros." Well, in celebration, drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Who else did I miss? Brerda. I don't know how to say her name. Thanks for subscribing. Duke subscribed. What's up, brother? Bold Eagle, not Bald Eagle. Bold Eagle has super chatted $2 and says, swap red glasses to green. Make them blue, baby. Boom. You thought they were gone. They never were gone. Though I am, don't tell everybody, but I am warming you guys up to me not wearing them. For many reasons, but the biggest reason is these just don't exist anymore. I haven't been able to find any pairs that are these. I found some similar-ish ones, but these ones are, someday they're going to be gone. The time together is limited, but we'll always be here. Anyway, is daily time frame best to look for death crosses? So, Mikhail, well, you're tickling my little hyper fascination autism. So death crosses can happen on any time frame. It is not just the daily. So there is no best. If you, maybe what you're getting at is what is the most useful? And that is an easy answer. During this bull run, the daily crosses have been absolutely nailing these lows. The golden crosses, they've been all right. But the death crosses on the day have been nailing the lows. So by far the most useful in this run. Overall, or kind of as a bigger concept of what are more useful, there isn't. The only answer that we can give is the bigger the time frame, the better. And that's the answer always in trading. When you're looking at divergence, you're looking at moving averages, you're looking at support, resistance, the answer is always it can be applied on any time frame. But the bigger the time frame, the more confident that you can be, and the less prone it will be to manipulation, to small moves, basically, to little invalidations. That's the way I'll put it. Wait, this chart's supposed to be USDT. USDTD, what? How did this change? Yeah, that's weird. Oh, full circle, boys, full circle. Yes, what's up, Vulture Clips? I see you, brother. Thanks for subscribing. Really quick, I'm about to drop the alpha on you because I just remembered the thing I couldn't remember. I'm about to drop the alpha. Tap the screen, hit the like button, subscribe, hype it up. Look at this. I just stumbled into it like a drunk idiot. USDTD. Talked about this yesterday. Let's go. Who was here yesterday on stream remembers this? You should have reminded me. US Tether dominance has created a trend line. This is another one of the death cross similarities, another one of the compelling arguments. Damn, I knew it. Take a look. We can create a trend line from these two specific highs. They're not cherry picked. They're valid. They're valid from a TA point, and they are valid from this argument. We can take these 2 points, and you'll never guess where they come from. You'll never guess. I'm looking for the one in 23 now. Ooh, this one up here. You never guess where they come from. August of 24. 2024's death cross. April of 25. 2025's death cross. Those two highs, when you draw a trend line, bring us very close to price. Now, yesterday we didn't have this big green candle, so this was a little bit more theoretical sounding. It wasn't as confident looking. Today we have this gorgeous green, and it maybe even called the dump. But the good news is it may call when the dump will be over. So this trend line, as of yesterday, was only about 0.5% off from price. Now we're much closer. So we're looking at 5.8 as opposed to 5.62. But we said, or speculated, that it is likely we see one more push up of USDT Tether dominance to test this trend line. Now, you ask me, I think price rejects. I think dominance rejects from there, and we see a return, one more return to the low for a final Bitcoin leg up in this cycle into the end of the year. This lines up really well. It did even suggest that the low was not in when it comes to dominance, which is typically bearish, that we had lower lows to explore because that was not tested. It was close, but not tested. Now we're reaching up to it. The timing of this, the timing of dominance for Tether reaching that trend line lines up. You'll never guess, virtually perfectly with the death cross that's currently looming above us. It's roughly this weekend. The alignment of the death cross, the last two of which have created this trend line, with the current death cross that is about to happen, is uncanny. It's uncanny, dude. You've never seen this TA anywhere else because no one else has looked at this. We found this. This is alpha. This is proprietary. Is uncanny how close this is. I predict that we will see a test of this trend line at the same time, give or take 24 hours, as that death cross. Now, this is where it gets more speculative. I think we see a rejection. I believe it rejects. It retests the lows. What that looks like, you know, I don't know. 4.71, you know, could go lower, could hit 4%, whatever. Something like this. 1, 2, 3. Trend line tested, confirmed. The fourth time out in the future, we see that trend line broken, and that would likely line up somewhere in like Q1 of 26, when we are in a bear market, when we see prices sell off across the board, Bitcoin included, alts, and Tether, of course, remain stable, maybe slightly grow, and regain dominance in the crypto space percentage-wise. That's what I think happens. One more test, a rejection, a swing low where we see a leg up on Bitcoin, likely alts follow after, and then into the end of the year, but basically into next year, we see a break of that trend line and a continuation. Now, will we ever see a new all-time high on Tether dominance? That's a really hard question. That's an extremely hard question. I don't have the answer. It's, yeah, to answer that would just be a straight guess. If I had to guess, probably we do, simply because unless something critical happens to Tether, which I think is unlikely, probably by the end of the next bear market, we will see 10% dominance break on Tether. The basically bottom of the previous bear in 2022 coincides with exactly that, with all-time highs on Tether dominance right up here. Boom, boom. A lower high specifically. Wow, this is actually cool. Hit its all-time high in June of 22, and then a lower high into the actual legit perfect bottom in November of 22, showing weakness on this chart, and it really did play out exactly like that. I wonder if this, it gets better. It gets better. It gets even better. Check this shit out. Dude, hype this up. This is crazy. So this was the bear market bottom and reversal into the bull market as viewed through Tether dominance. Right here. July 22, November 22. Lower high, reversed. We painted a bull flag, we'll call it, and it sold off, meaning we entered the bull market. Now I'm going to invert the chart. Check this out. You can draw a trend here. I don't know how much better this is, but still cool. You can draw a trend here using these 2 points. I don't know what they would line up with. April of 23, August of 22. Either way, similar to what we're seeing now, but inverted. You have a trend line established, a third test of it, a rejection, a move back to the low, which is what we're looking at now, what I'm looking for now. And then on the fourth test, a breakthrough and a move higher. This is exactly what I just described. We just see this in price context. This is exactly what I just described happening right here. Trend line established. The third test, we saw that here, the third test. Return, third test, return to the low. Rally breakthrough, dump breakthrough into the bull market, into the bear market. Exactly what we're just looking for. That's fire. Absolute fire. Whew. I love it. This makes me feel more comfortable, more safe. Putting it into context, you know, putting in the bigger picture into context makes me feel much more comfortable. The scariest thing is the unknown. It's like we have no idea. Anything could happen tomorrow. While that still is completely true, having some context to view it through is very comforting. Get rid of some of this. 98.2 and then 93.5 was the year. All right. Is that all I want to show? Can I like focus on something else for a minute now? Maybe not. Oh, I wanted to play music. Screw that. This is already too late for that. Should have put that on earlier. What's up, Andy, Dirty Joe? I see you guys subscribing. Good job. Well done. Keep subscribing. Keep tapping the screen. Keep sharing out the stream. Things are going to be okay either way. Whether the low is in, whether it's coming this weekend, whether we're in a bear market, whether we've been in a bear market for however long, it's going to be okay. Crypto has weathered through worse. Much worse. It'll be okay. It'll be here. Shit, there was one more thing. Oh, yes. The week. This was my bear market indicator. Not there yet. Have to see the weekly close, but the cloud has not twisted yet. The cloud will twist 26 weeks. 26 weeks early. What else we got? I guess just reading the chat, yeah. This certainly looks like shit. Look at that. Look at those candles, bro. It's like a joke. All right, let me pull up the chat. I've been terrible. And you know what? I will put on music because I feel like it. Let me pull up the chat. I apologize. I wasn't ignoring you. I was honestly just trying to hyper focus so that I could deliver something. Just like deliver something that could be valuable. Hopefully I did. Hopefully, even if it was just like a little hypnotic sounding, you just relaxed to my voice. That's good. I'm putting on Grizz. Putting on the Grizzler. The Grizzler. Hold up. Then I'm reading chat.
Welcome, friend.
Welcome, friend.
Sometimes the most interesting journeys are a side quest.
Got 1,000 is about the same. Good poll. Good poll. Gonna put on another one. Keep saying hello. Keep putting some in the chat. I'm reading. Little Grizzler. Let's do that. I got it. Okay, got it. Got it. Pulls up, vote. Turn this down a smidgen. Listen to the wise words of Grizz. Let him relax you. Start dancing. That's right, DJ Deliverance. What's up, bro? Mr. Leb, XRP is next. Zek is booming. Is Zek booming? I mean, it's looked better. It doesn't look terrible, though. Not, yeah, kind of ignoring the sell-off largely like it did back here. It did sell off after. I don't think Zek's done. In fact, I'm annoyed. Zek didn't fill my order. Didn't fill. Boo. We tried so hard and got so far, and in the end, it did matter. It really did matter in the end. I want to wear these. I don't wear my other ones. It's much brighter when I wear these. More bullish. Much more bullish when I wear these. Yes. Your wedding DJ? You'd have to move to another country. Why is that? I mean, I don't know if it's the wedding music for everyone. For some people. Check out the Bitcoin Death Cross in June of 21. There was only... So what's interesting about these death crosses is in previous cycles, they didn't really happen. They only happened like once a cycle. In this run, it's been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? In the previous cycle, it was much simpler. Times were easier. They weren't. We had one golden cross in May of 2020, right after COVID. That golden cross remained in that status until June of 21, when it marked the bottom again. I mean, like marked the bottom again within 4 days, right? Death cross marked the bottom. We rallied. Golden cross got sold off, but we moved to all-time high, and that was it, right? In hindsight, that was it. We saw the death cross come in January of 22, and kind of similar to the golden cross going into the bull market, that death cross remained in that status, meaning the 50 under the 200, until the bottom was far in February of 23. So here's kind of like what I'm saying when I say, if we see this cross happen and the low's not in, it would break the pattern, which may already be broken because we have two now in this year. But if we see something more akin to this guy, probably won't look exactly like this, but something like this, where we get the death cross, right? Maybe there's a low near it, but no return, no higher low breakthrough, just weak bounce, and then we break the low. That would likely signal it. That would likely be confirmation for people, for many people, that the bear market is here. Doesn't guarantee it, but I think it's a good rationale. You can see after this, really there was just like no ability to rally. We did, and here's maybe the good news, maybe the last hope kind of last ditch news, is even in that scenario of the ugly death cross playing out, likely you still get a return to the 200-day moving average. That was the final high before Valhalla into 2022. So let's see what that is here. Where's the 200 at now? What that might suggest is 110.5K is likely to be revisited no matter what. Whether we are in a bear market, whether we don't see a good bounce, right? We see something like this. Something like that. Back to the 200. One thing I'll say for sure is really no matter what happens now in the short term or midterm, when Bitcoin returns to the 200-day moving average, it will be a good, I'll say high probability, I'll say an intelligent place to look to either hedge or to get out of bad positions. There's always a possibility it blasts through, we keep going, more all-time highs, but it will be, the probability of testing it is very high. And the probability of it being smarter than panic selling when it's down, undeniable. So this is likely no matter what, you know, like even if we don't see the lower low, even if we ignore that, something like this, very good odds. Like a little escape hatch. Isn't this crazy though? Look at that. It fell below and the 50 just never came back up. Never came back up. Look for this. A little hedge out. I remember I shorted live here. I shorted 48K here as like a hedge and then held it all the way to like here, maybe. And I just collected funding for most of it. It's pretty fire. Should have held that all the way, right? All the way. Okay. 𝐂𝐡𝐚, dude. This Bitcoin, you have disappointed me, son. But there's still time. Good news. Still time to show me that you're for real. CME gap at 91.5. Yeah. The CME gap is included in the 98K to 92K, I guess. Yeah. Snap a ray line from low of August 4th to low of April 7th. A ray line from low August 4th. A ray line. A ray line. August 4th, April. This one? Ah, yeah. I'm surprised I don't have a line there, to be honest. It's ugly as fuck. It's ugly as fuck. This is on logarithmic. What's it look like on regular? This is crazy. You can't make this up. Bitch, I'm swerving. You can't make this up. Can't make this up. I'm swerving. I love this song. Grizz, shout out to you, Grizz. This song, by the way, guys, is Grizz Side Quest Volume 1. You check him out on YouTube. And he'll be getting all the ad revenue for this stream. You can't make this up. Look at this. So, for those of you unfamiliar, you can have a chart on regular, which makes the scale a linear count up, which, I mean, lots of traditional finance use. I don't typically use it for Bitcoin because it messes up the chart. Bitcoin on logarithmic just like doesn't look right. You can't see any of the price action. It all just disappears over time. When you connect August to April with a trend line on regular, you will maybe get some hopium. Hopium that 97.2-ish will find support. For sure. And that's reasonable. Not commonly do we see this scenario though. On logarithmic, which I typically use because I think it makes it easier to view price action. It makes more sense with Bitcoin. It tends to move exponentially. It looks different and it looks not good. This is crazy. So not only do both of these wicks test it, it shows us losing that trend line. I didn't have this on my chart. It shows us losing that trend line and then shows us near miss, but close enough. On our rally to 107 earlier, backtesting said trend line and rejecting breaking lower. What's crazy about this is the logarithmic chart for this trend shows us a very bearish picture, but the regular trend shows us a very bullish picture. Thanks, Bitcoin. Thanks, crypto. Like old guy meme, old guy thumbs up me and like, thanks, crypto. Very cool of you. Very cool. Not cool. Not cool at all, bro. It's a good trend line, though. Let's check out my favorite trend line quick. We'll come right back. Come right back to the chat. I keep saying I'm going to read it, and I keep getting distracted. You know what that means. You know what that means. Are these it? There it is. Huh, could have sworn that hit. Maybe it's on the day. That's weird. I swear to God, I have charts where that lines up. Coinbase? Look at all that analysis being done back here live in 2020. People were hella bearish then too. There it is. It's Coinbase. I'm actually glad it's Coinbase because it being on Bitstamp is not really as relevant. I know there's a lot of shit in the way here, so I'll make this a little easier to see. It did not work. Blue. There we go. Connect July 17 to the bear market bottom in 18. You get support here. The weekly candle closes above. You get support at the bear market bottom. And where does this bring us today? Very, very scary numbers. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. This does not make anyone feel good. Maybe it does. I don't know. You line that up today and you're looking at 52K. And some people would be happy with 52K. Realistically, though, we would expect a bear market bottom to be at like the end of next year. So maybe we look farther out. Maybe we look to November. Tends to be pretty good timing for the bear market bottoms the year after. Becomes a little less scary. Like, maybe you see this. Yeah, not exactly like that. Something. 77.8 if we wait a year. 52K if it were to just fall out of the sky now. That's one of my favorite trend lines. What's up, Ivan? I see you subscribing. Ivan Othuzin. Mr. Arpad001. Thun Fatah. Andy. Who else is subscribed? If I missed you, put something in chat, let me know. Alright. I gotta hold myself accountable. I gotta put the chat up here. 10-year-old bond. 10-year bond. Yield wants to pump. So bond 10 years about to fall. Yields move up. ARC USD. Bitcoin is not a scam. I don't think Bitcoin's a scam in any way. Bitcoin's not a scam. In fact, Bitcoin's maybe like the only non-scam in the world. It's like the only thing that's real. Everything else is a scam. Compared to Bitcoin, everything is a scam. There you go. Bear flag to 92, definitely possible. Definitely in the books. Definitely on the table. 92 is a juicy level. Not only do we have a fair value, not only do we have a CME gap at 91.9, not only, we also have the yearly open just below that level, and that is an attractive level. It's an attractive level. I don't know how I feel about 93-ish being hit before end of year. Certainly next year, the probability is very good that we hit it. I don't really know how I feel about it. It's not a comfortable feeling. When you look at the chart, we do have a fair value gap. I was right. Right here, quarterly candles. We have a 3-candle long bullish setup, they call it. I guess it worked. We saw all-time highs. What's interesting is this would be really major support. Not only are there just unimaginable amounts of orders there because it's the yearly open, you got this quarterly order block there. Fair value gap, order block, whatever you want to call it. Major support. No matter how you cut it. Hitting 93, let's do this. I would be uncomfortable hitting 93.3 this year. Q1 of next year, sure. This year would be not a great look. Wouldn't be the craziest sell-off ever for Bitcoin in a bull run. I just don't like how close the yearly open and close would be at the end of the year. Make me uncomfortable. But what I do know is whether it hits it now or later, 93.3 is going to be a place I'm going to look to take a trade. 93.3, absolutely confidence that we see a bounce. That also extends to 82.5. Now, when I say a bounce, maybe we just see 82.5 to 93, right? When I say a bounce, maybe we see 93 and we only moved to like 100,000. Maybe we only moved to 110, right? But these are going to be places of liquidity. These are absolutely going to be places where huge liquidity is resting, and we infrequently see price move through liquidity zones like that. We typically see price sweep liquidity. So a sell off into the death cross, sweep liquidity, and reverse at least temporarily. Sometimes more than temporarily. If that rejects, this would look bad. See something like this, tend to see the same thing down here, 82.5, likely going to be an area of huge liquidity. Maybe that brings me back to 93. Like, this would still be really bad, but I'm going to look for longs there. I'm going to look to scalp long. Not financial advice. Do you? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't blindly copy me. But if you do want to trade, check out BYDFi, our exchange partner. Link is pinned in the video, or pinned in the live chat, and it's in the video description below. No KYC. Anybody can sign up, get bonuses for using my link. And the biggest value, if you use my link for any of the referral links in the video description below, they're all referral links, affiliate links. If you use my links and you ever have an issue with these companies, these exchanges, these tools, anything, you make a deposit, they freeze it, they won't respond to you, customer service, come to me into my Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown, open a ticket, and I will advocate for you, meaning I will do whatever I can to get it escalated. I will get someone to look at it. I can't guarantee an outcome, but I can guarantee that I will fight for you if you use my link. If you don't use my link, and you have issues on places, I guess ask the people whose links you used, right? Shit out of luck. You guys know that's bullshit. I would always help you if I could. But use my links, and that's the biggest value. So sign up for BYDFi. Links in the chat. Done. No more shill. What the is Grizz? Here we go. I barely read the chat. That was the whole point of today. Can we copy trade? I don't do copy trading. Copy trading is a scam, bros. Copy trading is a scam. Don't do copy trading. It just doesn't work. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. Strong support for the community. That's why I'm here, Richter. That's why I'm here, brother. That's why I could have made millions of dollars already. Could have made my bag and just been on an island somewhere if I just wanted to turn you guys into paychecks. Could have accepted millions, literally. People doubt this, but literally millions of dollars I have turned down. Not in one payment. I've never been offered $1 million for anything, but over the course of 7 years and thousands of offers that I have had, ranging anywhere from, I don't know, like starting at zero, but as high as I've been offered 50 grand for shit. And imagine if I had been accepting projects and they were spreading the word around, probably would have gotten some bigger ones. Those are offers from people that don't know who I am or don't know that I would never accept it. It's not the point. We're getting rich slow together. There it is. Bitcoin's going to 91 by midnight. Maybe. I mean, so here's the thing. 91, it's not a crazy target at all. Look at November's low connected to November's high. Boom. I mean, your measure move is right here. 91. It's not a bad target. You broke the low. You've already completed this, so you look for the extension. Now, the thing that gets in my way of agreeing with you is what I was just saying about 93.3. I do not think that 93.3 breaks without a significant bounce. So the hopes of 91, I think, are bad, especially in 24 hours. I think are bad. I think are low. I don't think are a good bet. Now, 91K this year, sure. 91K next year, definitely. But today, I don't think so, brother. I've been wrong before. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think so. At worst, I think you see this. You see a sell-off. You see the 1618 tested. You see a bounce from 93.3. Maybe it only makes it. This is so bearish to like only make it to 98, right? Minimum. I think you'd see a much stronger bounce, honestly. But minimum. I don't think you get through 93.3 quickly. I think this. Maybe this. Maybe even something like that, right? You want to stay bearish? That's fine. Like, maybe this. Volatility down, right? Then you can see the 91. Then you can see it. This is crazy bearish, though. At worst, I think you see that. Or at best, or worst, I don't know. One of the two. I've been talking for a while. I don't think 93.3 gives up without a fight. It's going to go down swinging. Who are the sellers? I don't know. Who are the sellers? I don't know. That's like actually a really good question. A lot of the time I dismiss questions like those, like who's the buyers, who's the sellers, right? I'm like, it's not important. I often dismiss, but I think it's a really good question now for one reason, because who were the buyers? Who bought? Nobody knew. Look at this chat. All these people in here, most of you guys are OGs. We know that. Most of you have been watching this channel for years. Most of you, I've already gotten to you. You stack Bitcoin. You're maxi almost. You still know it. These guys, we bought Bitcoin, but we don't give a shit about. We don't give a shit about 91K. I don't give I don't want it to happen. I want it to go up, but like, it doesn't scare me. I'm not gonna sell my Bitcoin. I don't know. Where were the new hands? Who were the retail? My boy's live. That's right, Fonty. I'm live, buddy. Who were the new retail? Who were the paper hands? Who is gonna fold and sell? I don't get it. Because typically you have so much euphoria and new people coming in and buying the top, and then yes, they of course get scared and sell. But it doesn't really feel like that ever happened. And if it did happen, it happened last year. If that happened at all, it happened last year in March at 73K. So those people bought at 73, and you better bet your bottom dollar they sold at 50K in August. Bottom dollar bet it. We haven't seen retail since Trump shits coins. You're right. I'm going to take away moderation activity just in case anyone says something bad. I don't want that popping up. New retail is BlackRock. I mean, there's definitely a logic to say new retail could be ETF buyers. They're new retail. I don't know though. I don't know. It just doesn't fit right. To the moon, Alice. That's right, cowboy. Grid bots are better than copy trading. I'll back you up there, Nicholas Perry. I agree. I like grid bots. Grid bots are, especially this cycle, grid bots killed it. Killed it. Grid bot, for those of you who aren't familiar, a grid bot is just it's like a trading bot, but it's just an equation, as they all are, but it's really simple. So in the simplest of terms, you can, by the way, you can grid bot trade on BYDFi. Use my link right here. Use this one. Wait, I want a private window. Am I sure I want to leave YouTube? Yes. Why does it ask me that? That's lame. You're ruining my conversion, YouTube. BYDFi has these bots. Said bots. You can use my link. In the simplest of terms, a grid bot, you essentially name a low price and you name a high price. And you can also then name how many pieces you want that broken into, okay? You set a low price, you set a high price, and what it does is basically sets immediately limit buy orders below price and then limit sell orders above price. When price moves up and down, it fills sell orders, it replaces them. When it sells, it will replace them down above the whatever order you started at. And when it goes down, it then fills buy orders and it sets limit sells down. And it essentially profits by low volatility. It profits by sideways movement. Like everything, there's risk. It's not perfect. But this cycle, if you had put a grid bot on, if you had set up grid bots for, let's say, Bitcoin, there were 6-month periods you could have crushed it. I'll say they're lower risk. I wouldn't mess as much with alts as everything. But grid bots, yeah, they killed it this year. BYDFi has them. They're really common now. Better answer, Mr. Patel. What's Mr. Patel? What's he spamming? What do I think about Litecoin? I believe in Litecoin. Doesn't look good here, does it? It doesn't look great here. I believe in it. Litecoin. Ooh. Well, maybe this will get our hopium up. Death Cross completed on Litecoin yesterday. Last time it basically marked the bottom again. These crosses have been very consistent over the last few years of, you can't say inverse indicators, because while often we do see the golden crosses kind of mark local tops, it isn't quite as correlated, right? The death crosses across the board have marked bottoms. But where was I at? Not inverse correlated, but the death crosses have marked bottoms. That's what I was getting at. The gold crosses haven't been as reliable. Here we go. Death cross is here. What do you got? What do you got, man? I believe Litecoin will break its all-time high eventually. Nobody pays me to say this. I have a bunch of Litecoin I've held forever. So, yeah, I might be biased. Probably biased. But I believe in it. I believe in it. Where's it going tomorrow? Lord knows, bro. The best bet for Litecoin as to where price will be tomorrow is like right here. Let's go. Let's go here. No, here. We'll go here. Between $80 and $125. The odds of tomorrow and the next day being somewhere in that box are pretty damn good. I think this chart's crazy bullish. It just hasn't broken out. I don't know if it needs a catalyst. I don't know what it's waiting for. Certainly it's testing my patience, and certainly there are no weak hands left on Litecoin. I'll tell you that. Nobody has held Litecoin this whole time and is like worried about it going down at this point. We've seen it go down. It's been going down. Now, I don't shill my bags because I think that's dishonest and a bad practice and doesn't help people. But there is another coin that I believe in equally as much as Litecoin. Equal amount of faith in it. And its chart looks damn good too, and I'll even argue maybe a little better. Currently, we're seeing a privacy narrative with 𝐂𝐶. Monero, OG privacy coin, existed before 𝐂𝐶. didn't start trading super high weirdly like Zec did. Came from nothing like all the other coins. This chart, I'll say more bullish than Litecoin, on par. And this one, I think, has a little more clear-cut opportunity. Please don't blindly copy anything I do. Everything I do is just for educational purposes, so you can check your own TA, see if you're, I don't know, lining up with what I'm seeing or not. Just as evidence to help you make your decisions, but certainly not to be copied or financial advice. 350 does look juicy, especially now that we've had a few days pass. We placed this trade at 350 on Monero. I want to say the 9th or the 10th, maybe Monday. I don't know. 420 or 418 resistance perfectly put the brakes on Monero's rally. Has that same issue as Litecoin. It's like it gets little rallies and then the brakes come on, but it always holds its low. It always continues up. But resistance at 420, blaze it, has held. Yeah. Kind of dicking around here, but I can see, or I would expect over time, maybe even over this weekend, if we have another low on Bitcoin, to see 350 tested. I think 350 is a great spot for a high probability long. Now the take profit on it, logical place, of course, is going to be 420 again. I have the Hopium. The Hopium moves up though. This one's specifically looking for 517, and of course, if you make it to 517, at that point, you're looking for all-time highs. But Monero, I think, similar to Litecoin, the big macro time frame, right, is just fire. It's just fire. How do you bet bearishly against a chart like this? I wouldn't. I don't like short. I don't know why you would. This is crazy. This is 2017 to 2025. The only bearish argument here is you haven't broken your all-time high. You've spent all this time underneath it. You rejected from it in 2021. Now you're back to it. That's the only bearish argument. This looks just like Litecoin, except the lows held much better. Litecoin did more like this, right? It like came farther down and stayed down. Monero only came down about half. It held this low really well. $27 up to 100. I was buying it over here when Binance delisted it. Held up much better and has made more progress back to its all-time high. I think Monero and Litecoin will both break all-time high. I don't know when it will happen. Probably longer than most people will have patience for. But I do believe there's a little opportunity there. With Litecoin, I just can't help you, man. I've tried over and over and over again, and it just, every time I have an entry, it just shits on me. See? It just shits on me. It's like, nah, dude. So I like, long story short, I like Litecoin. I don't think Litecoin likes me very much. Burn. There you go. My foul. Daily's coming back up. Looking at the low here from Tuesday. That wouldn't be a bad close. Wouldn't be a bad close, but also kind of feel like if we close right at the low of Tuesday, we are just going to see the death cross play out this weekend. We're going to see a lower low. That's what I would guess. What's up, Jack Velaco? Subscribed. Louis Elijah Bays. What's up, bro? Tripsus. Subscribed or followed over on Twitch. Dude, this is by far the stream that we've gotten the most followers on Twitch. I know the chat's probably dead over there. In the future, I should probably have it pulled up. But damn, we've gotten like 10 follows on Twitch, which is crazy. I mean, that's really bad numbers for us on YouTube. We have 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. On Twitch, we got like 2.8K. Shadow Systems is over. Bro, I know he's not still there. Shadow. Why are you? Anymore. I know he's not over there. He's an OG of this channel. That's fire, dude. That's fire. What's up, Tripsus? I should have that up for future streams. Where's the chat? YouTube goat. Can you tell me about Doge? You have $2,500 Doge? Yeah, I guess. Doge, so I was just talking about Litecoin and Monero. And I said those are two. It goes Bitcoin is number one. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. But then I have kind of a narrow strip of coins underneath that are a number 2. Importantly, number 2 to the number 1, but still above 99.9% of all the other shit. This isn't an exhaustive list, but it's Litecoin, Monero, Doge. What are some others? Vert coins on there. There's more. There's more. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But Doge is in there. Love Doge. Doge is... It's weird how they're all in the same boat. All these coins except for Vertcoin. Never look at Vertcoin. Just forget. You ever heard it? What's up, Lebda? Lebda. Yo, Trip. You're over there. Oh, okay. You can post your Litecoin chart, or it's not allowed. Sure, Trip, but there's no one really there. If you want to post it in our Discord, charts are welcome. They're encouraged. Dogecoin is the same boat. You just have a crazy bullish structure. Insanely bullish. Now, it obviously looks different than Litecoin and Monero, but insanely bullish. Your lows have been respected since the bear market bottom. You have broken higher highs over and over and over again. Even with this wick, you still respected August's low of last year. So you still have a higher high into a higher low, into a higher high, into a higher low. I believe Dogecoin is going to hit all-time high. You can see this has been drawn for more than a year now, probably 2 years. 2 years? More? I don't even know. But it's just in the same boat as Litecoin and Monero. Is when is it going to happen? I don't know. We've been waiting on it forever. It just keeps looking strong and keeps looking strong, keeps looking strong, and nothing happens. I sold a lot of my Dogecoin in 2021. I almost said last year. A lot of it, but not all of it. I don't remember what percent. Sold a lot of it, not all of it. But I'm going to continue to hold the rest of it until new all-time highs, which I think, just like Monero, just like Litecoin, I think we're going to see new all-time highs on Doge this cycle. Boom. What's up, King HRV? By the way, YouTube fam. Me YouTube familia. God. Where am I? Where's my brain right now? We have 1,600. We have 1,600 live viewers on YouTube. Concurrent live viewers. We have like 4 on Twitch. Yet Twitch, we're getting more subscribers from Twitch than YouTube today. Embarrassing, YouTube. Pick it up. Pick it up. Put your back into it. No, I'm just playing. Welcome, King HRV and Lebda. You want to know who crimed Doge? Probably Elon. Do you think Doge probably means big tops for other memes like Shiba? They're just fundamentally different things, man. Preston likes my dude. Thank you. Thank you, Dark. They're just fundamentally different things. They're not the same. I was yelling that from the rooftops all throughout the last cycle. It's like people would say, you know, like, but Doge and Shiba. And it's like, bro, the only similarity they have is like the name. You could name it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like Doge, the reason I like Doge is the reason I like Litecoin, is the reason I like Monero. It's not because number go up, though that is great when it does. It was a great told you so. When I was all bully talking about Doge being awesome back here and people hated me, and then all of a sudden everybody was buying my bags, it was awesome. But the reason is the same, is their proof of work. They had a fair origin, meaning there was no pre-mine, there was no ICO. No one started with an advantage. That's what's important to me in crypto, and it's something that OGs talk about, but has been completely lost on new generations, is the fairness. It's hard to define fairness, but to me, it is a scenario where no one has an advantage. Everyone starts at 0. That's how Bitcoin was from the first day. You can say there's an advantage, but there wasn't. Everyone had the opportunity to mine Bitcoin. I didn't mine Bitcoin in 2009. Did I wish I did? Yeah, of course. That'd be awesome. I didn't know about it. But I could have. In theory, nothing stopped me. I could have done it from my computer. I could have had bajillion dollars of Bitcoin. Same with Doge, same with Litecoin, same with Monero. No, there's no one profiting off of you in that sense. And so that's why I like Doge. But that separates it from Shiba, Floki, shitty new, you know, like whatever is. Those coins were just generated out of nowhere. Some dev controls the supply, and whenever you buy it, you're just paying them. They're just taking that money. They're extracting money from you. Nobody gets free coins with Doge. You have to mine them. You have to pay for them. You have a cost basis. You're not just directly printing someone's bag, right? What's up, no one 𝐂𝐽? Thanks for subscribing, bro. Doge made Elon super famous. Wait, Doge made Elon's famous? Okay. Guys, you remember when Elon was doing that Doge thing at the beginning of the year? That seems like a decade ago, doesn't it? That was just earlier this year. Whatever happened to that? He was like, God, we're doing all this great shit, doing all this great stuff, and like, what was the result? What happened? How much money did we save? How much money did we save? And what did we lose? I feel like that was such a blunder. Elon, I will say I have loved Elon. My love for Elon has grown again throughout this year. I was not loving him at the beginning of the year. It's grown for him more simply because I don't hear him talking as much. Seems like he's gotten back to the grind, and that's the Elon I liked. Always liked grinding Elon. Never, ever for a moment have enjoyed talking Elon. Talking is not his strength. Not a talker. Doge is done for, says Andy. Maybe. He made a quick buck. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think he really made money off Doge? I honestly think that Elon, the Doge thing was just like an ego thing for him. It was just like it stroked his ego. I gonna be hot take here, bros, but I see the same thing with Trump right now. It's these really rich guys. They have access to everything in the world. Like, you know, like they can buy anything. And the one thing that like they can't buy, so like the one thing that like still gets the rocks off is being able to move markets. Like tweeting and moving and seeing charts move and seeing money, you know, dump or pump. Like, I swear that's what it is. I swear that's I don't think Elon even owned Doge, probably. Maybe he did, but like I doubt he made any amount of money that mattered to him. I can say that confidently. He didn't make an amount of money that made his life different. But I think he did get his rocks off watching Doge pump every time he tweeted it, watching it dump after. I think that's what it is, man. Power. Yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right. What about liquidity heat maps? Are you using those with any confidence? I think liquidity heat maps, honestly, for a time, I think they had value. I think they're pretty useless now. What you'll see when you dive into the liquidity heat maps, what you'll see is often just someone selling you something in the sense of like just trying to sell you on their idea. Watch, I can make anything. Like if you pick a price, I can make it look important via heat map. Like, look at this. I could be like, oh my God, look at this. Look at all these liquidations. But all I did was just change the threshold, right? That's one way. But two, what you'll find is when they're real and you're not just manipulating them to prove a point, which often people are, almost always now, almost exclusively now, people use them to like argue their point. But when you do find areas that have high liquidity or high liquidations at them. So for instance, right here is the darkest part of the chart, meaning like the most dense liquidations. What you'll find is that they're just at support and resistances. So how valuable are they? They're equally valuable to those support and resistances. Now, a way you could use these to improve your trading, in my mind, would be not so much as to follow them, but to identify, using your own analysis, major support and resistances, areas that were likely for bounces or rejections, and then look at the heat map. And if you don't find liquidations there, maybe that is useful. Maybe you can say, wow, maybe like that, my analysis said this is a resistance, but there aren't really liquidations there. So maybe it's not, even though your analysis says it is. I feel like it's more of a check, like a back checking, than it is a front checking now. At one point, I think it was very front checky. There was a time where liquidations were magnetic and we saw prices whip to them. Doesn't really seem to do that anymore. That's my mind. He just tweeted saying he's going to put a Doge on the moon. Yeah, dude. Like I said, quiet Elon, not talking Elon is best Elon. Best Elon. Talking Elon, bearish. Quiet, grinding Elon, occasionally being like, I work 20 hours a day, 360 days a week. Good Elon. Weighing in on politics, running government organizations, bad Elon. Talking Elon, bad Elon. Anyway. Also, Elon, BT dubs. I got an alert. I think Tesla getting wrecked. I was bullish on it, so this is a red mark against me. I was bullish like a week ago on this chart. Let's see how it looks. Getting wrecked today. 6.6%. That is meaningful for today, though. Down 7.5 at the low. Okay. Logical support 3s, 58. Stocks are a joke. TA on stocks it's so much easier. If you're struggling with your analysis for crypto, go just chart some stocks for a while. It will validate you, and you won't feel as crazy. You won't feel nuts. Like, every time I think I understand something, it's the exact opposite on crypto charts. Yeah, that's true. On stock charts, it tends to actually work out. Like, you have a resistance, it bounces. You have a support, it bounces. Resistance, it rejects. Like, every time. Pay someone. 0.5 retrace. 358. 382, technically. It would be weird if Tesla didn't break all-time high, though. It would be weird. It can go back to 358, that's fine. Below that, it gets sketchier. But it would be weird. You have all-time high, higher low, all-time high. You're just looking for a higher low again. Of course, that doesn't have to be instant break. You could see this drag on for longer than you're willing to wait. What's up, Ahmed? How you doing, bro? Oh my goodness, it's 5. Whew. Whew. How long have we been live? Losing track of time. When I got Grizz on, bro, I just lose track of time. Oh, only an hour and a half. That's not as long as I thought. I thought it was like, have I been live for hours? We are going to be live tomorrow. So you should tune in tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed today. Bitcoin with a little reversal here. See, you took a deep breath and everything was okay. Everything didn't fall apart. Everything didn't fall apart. 89 mins. That's actually funny, dude. Elon tweeting about Doge. Instead of mooning it, it crashed it into the moon. Giggity. Giggity, I like that. Are y'all shillers buying the coins you're shilling, or just saying it'll moon? What coins? Well, maybe it's talking to someone else. Oh, he's asking people about Doge. The last time I interacted with Doge, I sold Doge in 21. I have not bought it back. You don't do TA, just watch Crown? That's because you're my boy, Jones. Bones Jones. What's up, Steven? Bada Jisoo subscribed. If I have time, ADA, I'll pull up ADA. I'm not convinced I'll have anything to say. I'll pull it up. I came from the bando. I did tweet this. ADA, Death Crossed, and put in the bottom. Still aging well despite the greater sell-off. Alts holding. What's interesting is alts largely had death crosses already. Bitcoin is about to have one this weekend. And alts have held up better than Bitcoin. They put in lows. They were doing worse. They put in lows earlier this month. But the ones I've looked at least haven't broken those lows. It's interesting. There's your hopium. Your hopium is that ADA is going to bounce from 52 cents right here. It's going to hold that low. It's going to bounce. Wow. You could have bought ADA against Bitcoin at its all-time low. Wow. It's crazy. Crazy. Dude, 52. 52, 52. 50, 52. You just gotta hold it. I don't have anything new to say. The greater market, I feel like, needs to recover here for this to look great. This wick is problematic. Problematic. Testing 50. Look out, 50. Testing 50 cents is problematic, especially if you test it again. You have just hammered this support. You cleared support. You cleared the order books in October. You don't want to stay here at 52. You want to break this downtrend, and you want to start moving up and recovering like many coins. The more times you test 50, the more likely you are to come explore that wick. I don't think it's like uniquely bearish or anything. I think the most hopium-esque thing you can say right now is it completed the death cross, and it's held the low sense. And that's a good setup. Bitcoin going into its death cross, potentially looking for a bottom, maybe. Reversing right now. Where was that heat map? The liquidation heat map. When I zoomed in, there was a liquidation point like right here. God, my scalp is dry again. Anybody else's scalp getting real dry since it got cold? It got cold as fuck here. Just out of nowhere, it got cold as fuck. It was like 60 degrees last week. Now it's like under 30. Yeah, here we go. 9966. Yeah, I'm not sure how useful it is. There you go. But it's perps, right? Perps are trading higher than spot. So to use this correctly, maybe this is also why I think they're limited in their use. It's like, to use this correctly, I have to have a perps chart open. Specifically Binance. Perp. You see futures. No, perps. Okay. 9919. Okay. This is not what I was looking for. Because wouldn't they be liquidated already? I'm lost. Why isn't there just a futures? Binance futures. Give me right. I give up. Anyway. 99644. There you go. Like super zoomed in. Actually a bunch of licks there. And then it's like the obvious next point. Like this is what I was saying about their limited use is then you zoom out a little bit and you look at the liquidation chart and you'll find that the liquidations are just at the lower highs, like right at where it rejected, right at resistance. So like right here, without even looking at it, we can already find it. 1013.
Be safe.
Thank you. Be safe and see you next adventure. Thank you, Grizz. Shout out to Grizz. Shout out to the Grizzler. Where's my run club tonight? Shout out to Grizz for spinning them tracks. I love that song. SideQuest Volume 1, Grizz. Link in the chat. Go ahead, give him subscribe. You can see I'm already subscribed. Do we need to be scared about Bitcoin, Tom Grief? I'm not scared about Bitcoin. Seems that many people are. 33, 57% of us think it's going lower. Some under, about a quarter of us under 92, under the yearly open. Many people are afraid. Pack it up, light it up. That's right, Harry. What's up, David B? Mr. Brum. You lost 70K this year. Damn, you Ethereum save. That's rough, bro. Sorry. What's the predicted bottom? During the death cross. Anytime between now and the end of the weekend. Don't listen to this. This wasn't a prediction. It was an answer to a question. When the death cross happens. That's what I'm thinking. The flush never stopped from October. Really, honestly, it feels like the flush just never ended. Just like it never began. Do we pack up or get ready, Jennifer? Always packed up, baby. Pack it up, light it up. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Ready to hold another 4 years? I've been holding since the dawn of time. Anyway, we'll be live again tomorrow, guys. Sign up with BYD5. Links in the video description below. our exchange partner. I will advocate for you if you ever have issues with them. Same with any of our partners, and the links help support the stream. You're using it anyway. There's no KYC. You get bonuses. They got the grid bots we were talking about, everything. Only pluses. And you'll get VIP roles in the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Jump in there. It's free. We're going to be live again tomorrow. There's a very small chance we won't be. We are always live Friday, but we're live here today. Small chance we won't be if just like nothing's happening. If it's not exciting, I'll wait. Because I think this weekend, the Death Cross is coming. We're likely to see very exciting price action, very historic price action. I want to be live and fresh for it. I will catch you cats very soon. I love you all. Stay safe. Be bullish, but also have a plan. Because the bull always gets tired. Just the same way the bear always gets tired. Don't get caught. I'll catch you guys soon. Crown out.